All around the globe, injections are used to dispense medication and vaccines, such as vaccines for rubella and mumps. Drugs consist of a variety of ingredients. You can compare this, for example, with bread. The most important ingredient is grain, but to make bread, you also need water, yeast, and salt. With drugs, the most important ingredient is a substance that has been intended to affect on your body, such as the relief of pain. Besides the drug, you need, for example, water or a buffer to dissolve the drug in a solution, and you need substances to keep a solution stable in your body. The composition of all these substances is what we call the formulation. Getting an injection is never an amusing event, definitely not when the injection has to be placed in your knee or in your eye. Octo Plus designs special formulations with less side effects that last longer. This cuts down the frequency of injections that have to be given to the patient.
So hello student, in the last lecture we have started with a new chapter, that is routes of drug administration and dosage form. So these are the points that we had covered in the last lecture, that is definition of dose and the factor governing the routes of administration of drugs. So the dose may be defined as it is an appropriate amount of drug needed to produce a certain degree of response in a patient, that is called as drug dose. Then again in the last lecture we had learned the factor governing the route of administration of drug. So in that, the first factor is physical and chemical properties of a drug, like solid, liquid, gas, solubility, stability, pH, and irritancy. This factors governs the choice of a route. Then the next factor is site of desired action, whether localized and approachable or generalized and unapproachable. So the second factor also governs the choice of a route, that is site of action, whether it is localized or generalized. Then the rate and extent of absorption of a drug from various routes. So this factor also affect the which route we have to use for drug delivery. Rate and extent of absorption of a drug from various routes. So various routes having different rate and extent of absorption of a drug. So this also affect that. The next point is effect of digestive juices on drug metabolism. So in your digestive system you are having different enzymes, so that affect the drug metabolism, and this also governs the choice of a route. So by which route you are going to deliver your drug. Then the rapidity with which the response is required, it means that how much time is required to show the response of that drug. So that is also important factor which governs the choice of a route. Then accuracy of dosage desired and the condition of the patient. So these are the 7 factors that are responsible for governing the choice of a route. And then again in the last lecture we had learned this your oral route of administration and its advantages and disadvantages. So in oral route you are simply taking drug in a mouth cavity, both solid as well as liquid dosage form you can take. Then the advantages of this oral route is it is safer and more convenient and does not require assistance. It is painless. Medication need not to be sterile. It is economical. Both solid and liquid dosage form can be given orally. So these are the advantages of oral route of administration. Then its disadvantages are the onset of drug action is very slow, therefore not suitable during the emergencies, while in oral route the time required to show the action is very slow, so we can't use this route in emergencies. Then irritant and unpalatable drug cannot be administered by this route, so irritant and unpalatable drug cannot be administered by this route. So the drug which having irritant and unpalatable smell, we can't administered by this route. The next disadvantage is the route may not be useful in presence of vomiting and diarrhea. If the patient having vomiting problem and diarrhea, so we can't use this route for drug delivery. Then the next disadvantage is cannot be used for uncooperative and uncautious patient. If your patient is uncooperative and uncautious, so we can't use this route for giving the drug to that patient. Then the certain drugs are not absorbed by this method, like streptomycin. Streptomycin is one of the drug which cannot absorb by this route. Then the drug absorbed from stomach and intestine have to pass through liver and may get deactivated in the liver before reaching the site of action. So this is also the disadvantages of oral route of administration of a drug. Then again in the last lecture we have learned the parenteral route of drug administration and its advantages and disadvantages. So the advantages are action is faster and definite, suitable for emergencies, gastric irritation, vomiting are not happen, can be employed even in uncautious, uncooperative and vomiting patient, no change of interference by food or digestive juices, and liver is bypassed. So these are the advantages. Then the disadvantages are the preparation has to be sterilized. So before going through this parenteral route, whatever the instrument, whatever the equipment we are using, we have to sterilize that. Then the second disadvantage is it is costlier, technique is invasive and painful, assistance is required, chance of local tissue injury, and sometimes it is risky. So these are the disadvantages of oral route of administration. So dear students, today we are going to learn the formulation of drug. So drug formulation is a composition of pharmaceutical product or an operation required to produce it. So the drug formulation, it is simply defined as it is a composition of pharmaceutical product or an operation required to produce it, that is called as drug formulation. A pharmaceutical product may contain one or more drug together with various excipient and adjutant. Then we can define this drug formulation in another way. So the pharmaceutical formulation is defined as the process in which various chemical substances are combined to produce final medicinal product, that is called as drug formulation. The formulation studies involve developing and preparation of drug of acceptable for a patient. So in combination formulation, when two or more active pharmaceutical ingredient or drug combine in a fixed ratio into a single dosage form, then it is known as fixed dose combination, in bracket FDC, fixed dose combination, or a combination drug polypill or a combo pills is a combination drug product in a pill form or a tablet or a capsule. So these are the example of combination drug, that is polypill and combo pill. Earlier fixed dose combination drug were used against a single disease, for example antiretroviral FDC for AIDS. However, multiple disease can also be treated using FDC. So by using this FDC method, we can treat multiple disease by a single drug or by a single dose of drug, that is called as FDC. And FDC means nothing but the fixed dose combination. The example are cough syrup, fencidil and Corex, Vicks Action 500, antibiotic combination, Zimnic AZ are some example of FDC. In most of the dosage form, only ingredient regulated by law is active drug, that is active pharmaceutical ingredient API. The excipient is any component of a finished dosage from other than the therapeutic ingredients. So we'll see what are the formulation that are used during the preparation of drug. The first one is binders. So binders hold the ingredient in a tablet together. The role of binder is that it holds the ingredient in a tablet together. Binders ensure that tablet granule can be formed with required mechanical strength and give volume to active dose tablet. So it ensures that the tablet and granules can be formed with required mechanical strength, and it gives volume to low active dose tablet. Then they are used to convert free flowing powder containing mixture of a ingredient into a tablet. The role of binder is that it used to convert a free flowing powder containing mixture of a ingredient into a tablet. So it convert the free flowing powder into the tablet. Then it also provides cohesiveness to the tablet. The role of binder is that it also provides cohesiveness to the tablet, and the example of binders are starch paste, gelatin solution, cellulose solution. These are the example of binder, and the role of this starch paste, gelatin solution and cellulose solution is that it holds the ingredient into a tablet together, and it used to convert free flowing powder containing mixture of ingredient into a tablet. So these are the examples of binders, that is starch paste, gelatin solution and cellulose solution. It acts as a binders in formulation of drugs. Then second one is filters. So what is filters? We'll see. So filters are specially designed to remove impurities and can be drastically reduce the amount of harmful material and contaminants in your drugs. So the role of filter is that it removes impurities and can drastically reduce the amount of harmful material and contaminant in your drugs. So the role of this filter is that it removes the impurities and harmful material from your drugs. So the simple of there are so many filters are there. This is just image how that filter works while formulation of drugs. Then unfiltered drugs can lead to dirty taste, localized swelling and infectious abscesses, collapsed vein, renal failure and pus on your heart and whole lot of other nasties. So due to the presence of these impurities, these are the side effects are there. So if impurity remain in your drugs, so that will give you dirty taste, localized swelling and infection abscesses, collapsed vein, renal failure, that is kidney damage, then pus on your heart. So these are the side effects that is due to presence of that impurities and harmful material. If filter are not used, these are the things that may happen. Then they are used to make the powder bulky so that the tablet of acceptable size is produced. For example, calcium sulfate, calcium phosphate, and cellulose. So these are the different filters are there. They are used to make powder bulky so that the tablet of acceptable size is produced. So this may act as a filter, or you can, the role of this calcium sulfate, calcium phosphate is that it used to make a powder bulky so that the acceptable size of tablet is produced. And in preparation of drugs, different filters we are using to remove impurities and harmful material. So these are the agent, that is calcium sulfate, calcium phosphate, and lactose and cellulose. The role of this chemical is that it used to make a powder bulky so that tablet of acceptable size is produced. The next one is disintegrants. So the disintegrants are added to the oral solid dosage form to aid their deaggregation. So we are using this disintegrant in oral solid dosage form. Disintegrants are formulated to cause rapid breakup of solid dosage form when they come into contact with moisture. Disintegration is typically viewed as the first step of dissolution process. They are used in a solid dosage form. They are used to facilitate the disintegration of tablet in the gastrointestinal tract. So the example of disintegrants are starch, clay, cellulose, gums, and some cross-linked polymers. So the role of this starch, clay, gums, and cross-linked polymer is that it used to disintegrate your tablet in solid dosage form, and it is used in a oral solid dosage form. Disintegrants are formulated to cause a rapid breakup of solid dosage form when they come in contact with moisture. Disintegration is typically viewed as a first step of dissolution process. They are used in a solid dosage form. So this is the role of this starch, clay, gum, and cross-linked polymer. And when your drug enter in gastrointestinal tract, in your drug you are having this starch, clay, and cellulose, any one of this, it facilitates the disintegration of drug in your gastrointestinal tract. So this disintegration is typically viewed as a first step in dissolution process. The next one is lubricants. So these lubricants are used to enhance the flow of powder to the tablet machine and prevent sticking of the tablet to the die of the tablet machine after the tablet is compressed. A lubricant is an additive to produce friction. It is an essential component of a drug formulation since lubricant is often required to ensure the success of pharmaceutical manufacturing. So the role of lubricant is that it used to enhance the flow of powder. It used to enhance the flow of powder to the tablet machine. And again, one more important thing is that it prevents the sticking of tablet to the die of the tablet machine. When your tablet is compressed, it prevents the sticking of that tablet to the die of the tablet machine after the tablet is compressed. A lubricant is it is an additive, and it is used to reduce the friction, and it is essential component of drug formulation since lubrication is often required to ensure the success of pharmaceutical manufacturing. So the example of lubricants are hydrophobic substances like stearic acid, calcium and magnesium stearate. So these are the examples of some lubricants which helps to prevent the sticking of tablet to the die of the tablet machine when the tablet is compressed, and it helps to enhance the flow of powder to the tablet machine, and it is an additive which reduces the friction. So these are the examples of lubricants, hydrophobic substances like stearic acid, calcium and magnesium. It is like when we are adding any oil in any machine, so it acts like that. So this is the image to understand what is lubricants. Then the next point is coloring agents. They are used to impart color, elegance, and to make the tablet easily identifiable by the patient. The role of coloring agent is what? We are using this coloring agent to impart color, elegance, and make the tablet easily identified by the tablet. So if the different colors of tablets are there, so we can easily identify the tablet, which tablet we have to use for headache, which is for pain care, according to that. So depending upon color, so we can easily identify that tablet. Color additives are used in foods for many reasons, and in drugs also, to offset color loss due to air, light, temperature, moisture and storage. So due to this reason, the color of drug may changes due to light, air, temperature, moisture and storage. That's why you are using this coloring agent to protect from light, air, temperature, moisture and storage. So what are the dyes that we are using in the preparation of formulation of drug? So the example are FD and C yellow, tartrazine, and DC red, erythrocin. These are the two dyes that are using as a coloring agent in the formulation of drug, or to give color to that tablet or pills. Then the next formulation is flavoring agent. They are used to impart a pleasant flavor and often color to the pharmaceutical preparation. It helps to improve the taste, texture and overall palatability of the drug. The example of flavoring agents are mannitol, lactose, aspartame, and this aspartame is artificial sweetener. So these are the example of flavoring agent, and the role of this flavoring agent is it used to impart pleasant flavor and often color to the pharmaceutical preparation, and it helps to improve taste, texture and overall palatability of the drug. So these are the flavoring agent which give this characteristic to the pharmaceutical preparation, like taste, texture and overall palatability of the drug. The next point is preservatives. So they are used to arrest the biological growth and chemical degradation, thus to make the stable dosage form. The role of preservative is it used to arrest the microbial growth and chemical degradation of the drug to make a stable dosage form. Example are methyl and propyl esters of para-hydroxybenzoic acid and sodium benzoate. So these are the examples of preservatives which used to arrest the microbial growth and chemical degradation of drug, so that we can make the stable dosage form. So we'll see this preservative one by one. Antimicrobial agent, antioxidant and chelating agent. So the agent which are used, the agent which active against gram positive and gram negative microorganism which cause degradation of pharmaceutical preparation. Examples are benzoate, sodium benzoate, sorbates, propionates and nitrates. So these are the antimicrobial agent which arrest the microbial degradation of a drugs. Then antioxidant, the agent which prevent the oxidation of pharmaceutical formulation. Antioxidants are the agents antioxidant agent are acting self-reducing agent and prevent the oxidation of oxygen sensitive ingredient. So the examples of antioxidant are sulfides, vitamin E and vitamin C. So the role of this vitamin E, vitamin C and the sulfide is that it act as a oxidizing agent and it reduces itself and prevent the oxidation of oxygen sensitive ingredient. So the drugs are oxygen sensitive ingredient, so it reduces the oxidation of that oxygen sensitive ingredients drugs. The example are sulfides, vitamin and your vitamin C, vitamin E and vitamin C. These are the antioxidant. The next one is chelating agent. So chelating agent which are forming a complex with a pharmaceutical ingredient and prevent degradation of formulation. So the example of chelating agent are sodium ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid and polyphosphate citric acid. These are the chelating agent which are forming complex with a pharmaceutical ingredient and prevent the degradation of formulation by forming a complex with that drugs. So this is all about the preservatives. So the role of this preservative is what? It is used to arrest the microbial growth and chemical degradation of drug, thus to make a stable dosage form. Then the next formulation is antioxidant. Next excipient that we are using in drug formulation is antioxidants. So they are used to stabilize the compound that are sensitive to oxidation. For example, sodium bisulfate, ascorbic acid, thiols and vitamin E. These are the antioxidant and which are used to stabilize the compound that are sensitive to oxidation, which is drug. Drug are oxygen sensitive agent. So the role of this antioxidant is what? It reduces the oxidation of that drugs. So this antioxidant are compound that inhibit oxidation. It is a chemical reaction that can produce free radical, thereby leading to a chain reaction and may damage the cell of a organism. So the antioxidant are antioxidant are the compounds which inhibit the oxidation, and oxidation, it is a chemical reaction. So after chemical reaction it produces free radical and the free radical may damage your cell. So the role of this antioxidant is it blocks that free radical or it converts that free radical into the neutral molecule. So the example of antioxidants are sodium bisulfate, ascorbic acid sometimes called as vitamin C, and the name of ascorbic acid is vitamin C, thiols and vitamin E. These are the examples of antioxidants. The next excipient or the adjutant we are adding in the formulation of drug is suspending agent. So they are hydrophilic colloids that form colloidal dispersion with water. So the suspending agents are, they are hydrophilic colloids that form colloidal dispersion with water. Example are alginic acid, sodium carboxymethyl cellulose. These are the example of suspending agent, and the role of suspending agent is they are hydrophilic colloids that form colloidal dispersion with water. So the most common suspending agent are aqueous biological polymers including methyl cellulose, sodium carboxymethyl cellulose CMC, and hydroxypropyl methyl cellulose HPMC, CMC. A range of viscosities of suspending agent is available with different molecular weights. So this is the advantages of this suspending agent in formulation of drug. They are hydrophilic colloids that form colloidal dispersion with water. So in liquid drop, eye drop, these are the chemicals which are using as a suspending agent in a eye drop. These chemicals are there, that is CMC, HPMC. Thank you.